Yeah, you knew what I meant. I knew what I meant. I knew what I meant. I mean, I always know what I mean. That's a lie. I couldn't even keep a straight face. That's such a lie. I don't always know what I mean. Hello everyone, Thoranx is here, and welcome back to No Man's Sky as we continue our construction here in the Thranxian Conflagration, capital of Isentam. And yeah, really continuing to process our resources as well. We got all this rust, we're turning it into ferrite dust, still more, even more, even more. Now I think one thing we can safely do while we're here on this side is we can go ahead in our storage container and just go ahead and deposit some of that ferrite dust. I think we can also go ahead and deposit some more of this ferrite dust, because that stuff usually ends up being pretty difficult to come by. So all this other stuff set up as it is. Yep. And then, of course, glass and carbon, chromatic metal. Yeah, right, because we pulled up these refiners. Okay. Now, we'll leave some of these refiners here, but some of this, really, it's time to start pulling some of this up. I think we can do one less landing pad. We can get rid of that. I think we can safely get rid of the cactus, this hallway, the frostwort, yep, the foundation, that hallway. So we didn't get credit for the stuff that was grown. I am kind of aware of that. However, I just don't care currently. What I care about is trying to get this taken care of. Would you look at that? That little structure down there, that does not belong. Hello, are you happy? Have you been milked recently? Have you been fed? Here. Perhaps let's feed all of the critters, shall we? Look at this livestock harvesting unit just going to town. Fresh milk. Wild milk. There you go. Let's go ahead and ride it on over here to where we're at. I think this is a fairly neat use of... Oh no, up the stairs! No, stop. Don't do it. It's trying to pull me to the cliff. No, turn around. Turn around. No. Oh, it's fighting me. It does not want to do the stairs. Wait, no, it's sprinting. Stop. It's taking me to the cliff. No! Well, there's a shot we don't often get. Jetpacking to the skies. Perhaps the other way. Right? Look at that. Look at that form. That physique. It's gotta be the shoes. It's gotta be the shoes. Wait. Okay. Okay, enough fun. Enough fun at the wildlife's expense. That's not the sort of operation we're running here. Unprofessional, Thranx is so unprofessional. Instead, let's get our construction camera down here and make that obscenity go away. I just... I see the answer. I very literally see the answer. Wait. So we ended up with 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then this is offset to be... Oh ho ho. How did I not notice that? What a clever... What a clever... Oh, wow. We've been asymmetrical for quite some time. You know what? I'm gonna allow it. I think it's just gonna give us, it's gonna add character. Let's call it what it is. It's a happy accident. I am okay with that. So what we need now is we need sort of this... Oh no, because that's gonna step right in front of these windows, isn't it? It is. There's no way to build out in front and preserve the windows, and there's no way to build in the back and preserve those windows, and we can't really build on top. We could maybe stair step down. Stair step down, you say? Let's see. Like this. And then here. Is that going to do it? Because I think this is a lot of out of the way placement for a darned biodome. I don't think it's that important. You know what? Let's take the easy way out. Let's preserve our base pieces, because this is not where I want to spend a little extra on my base complexity. This is not the place. Right, just like that. 1, 2, elbow bracket, and you're done. 1, 2, elbow bracket, and it's gone. I am good with that. I am good with that. So we have... I'm thinking this is where we'll do the gut. Oh my gosh. The gut rot flowers. A little bit of trouble with that one. For whatever reason, those flowers are very difficult for me to say. It's speech 100 all over again. Gravitino host. Mordite root. Albumin, pearl orbs, and nip. I dare say, I don't really think we need any of them, but we're going to pick one of them and plant them because... Oh, it's a rainbow. It's a rainbow. Let's pick one and let's stick with it. I think that's going to be our best bet there. Alright, and it turns out we are going to go ahead and do Mordite root, because Mordite is a quick and easy way to get meat. Impossible meat, you might say, because it's coming from a plant. However, I'm not sure what Mordite crystals really are. What I do know is it tastes like meat, so we're going to go ahead and run with that. And aha! Now we have everything all set up, at least everything that we need here. The next step is to keep it functional. I'm thinking food processing in here. Where would we have the most room for activities? Maybe I don't want to start staffing this place with all the work stuff so soon. Maybe instead I want to build up. We ever think of that? Alright, if I look at my foundation here... I think we can... Uh-oh. Can we? Oh boy. Looky here. So we can take the framing right from below, push it right through the flooring. Oh, hold on. We're adding things I don't care for. Yeah, we're talking about wasted base parts. I know you could argue the technical nature of what's a wasted base part when you're talking about a purely cosmetic item that is not necessary in the slightest. However, I would very strongly argue that depending on why an item is decorative would determine whether or not it's a waste, and in my humble opinion, structural bracing is not optional and cosmetic. It's one of those things that you really have to have. And I get it, it already is not proportional, but... I mean, what? If we go... Let's just take the camera around the front and just see what it looks like. Let's just see. I mean, that's okay. This is, again, this is the work area. I'm okay. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. And then we'll have, what, a milking station over there. I think there was a spawn area over there. We might also milk over there. We might have little way stations on either side of the span. But that looks good. And if we continue the bracing on either side... It might be one of those things, though, that the bracing will need to continue along the span in a significant nature. I think when it... No. No, the more I look at this, the more I see... Ooh. The more I see what our challenge is. It's getting there. But it is not there. And do you know what it needs? That's right, it needs these landing pads to go away. Oh no! Oh no, our ship is unhappy. Well, we should land immediately. Alright. We don't need to worry about that. We're not going to be flying it again anytime soon. Yeah, this is no good. We're going to get rid of this, we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to get rid of landing pads. Don't like them. They're not here. Inventory full. Instead, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to continue construction of what we had originally planned on making. But on a smaller scale. So we're going to start with the area that the 5 landing pads occupied. Alright, let's get the camera down. We've done this before. Alright, that didn't quite work. Let's try to get a little flatter. Line it up in a straight line, and then see if we can machine gun it. Almost. Hey, that was pretty good. Still have that full inventory. Well, there we go. We got it. Now I've thought long and hard when I had an original design for this structure about what was going to be the front and what was going to be the rear, because it very much has a front. And now I'm not so sure. I think in all of the time that I spent trying to ponder what my step forward would be now that I'm fully aware of my base part limitation, I think in the end, what I decided is I want it to be the same, whether you're looking at it from the front or the back. Alright, so let's start counting out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're going to need to be more precise. More precise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, so 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 is the full right side of our center station there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3. 33. The ever-present question is, do we build an even number or an odd number, right? I think as long as we stay flexible with our overall design, I don't think it's going to matter. Alright, and let's see for width. I'd like to keep the highway too wide. Depending on base components left, we might do a little bit of love to the highway and help it out a little bit. But whether or not we can give the highway any love, any of our love at all, if our heart is big enough, will depend on base limit, truly. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that puts us firmly in the 150 range. 5 is just not enough. I mean, you're talking entryway, wall. Yeah, no, not at all. This is going to be a thing that requires substantial commitment. And I do have a design. It was originally going to be quite large, and I think now, let's see, because if we build along the highway, the highway will need to be 3 wide. Will it? Oh, it might. It might. Let's take a look at stairs. Metal ramp, right? And that doesn't want to snap. That does, that does not, that does not, that does not. Why? Why? Invalid position. So let's see what happens. If I put that there, am I then able to put a floor here? Because, okay. Because that's really what I want, and why they wouldn't let me do that, I don't know if I'll ever understand. 2, 3. Okay, hold on. Let's start counting. So we got 33. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Woo, that should be about halfway. Hey, looks pretty halfway to me. Heck yeah. Let's give ourselves a nice... Alright, well I think we'll just step back for a little bit with the camera there like that. Okay. This might be more manageable. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the scope of it laid out. And then we're going to see if it's enough, too much. Well, not too much. It won't be too much because I've done the math. We'll be well within our base limit for this. The real question is whether or not it's going to be impressive enough. We will still need to leave room for decorations and such. Look at that. Measured that out perfectly. Ooh! That does appear to be rather... let's take a gander. So originally, this design... Oh, just imagine. This design originally was going to extend from the edges of the span. Now it's taking up about a third of it, the central third. I think this will work. I think it's ultimately going to end up being too much. As far as height goes, we might need to flatten it out and do the center 3. Let's try that. I'm fairly happy with this. I think this is where we want to be. Although getting up here is a little bit taxing. That's okay. It's supposed to be massive. It's not supposed to be easy to travel. If it was easy to travel, it would be every other base that I've built. I think we have no option but to stair step that. Now at some point... Oof, under flew the highway. Careful, how daring. This is good, this is good. That is fairly severe. I think at this point now we can start to look at walls. Okay, yep, and then just like this. Now another option, let's see, is if we do these angled walls. That might be a bit much. Let's just take a step back and see. So the actual stairs at this point would be somewhat hidden. The other alternative is we put the diagonal walls right on the stairs. Let's do that on the other side. Let's do that on the other side, right? Like this. Okay, so here we have two options. Let's back up and assess. We have option 1, the wall goes flush with the stairs. Doesn't really provide you any amount of safety. But it's going to take exactly, 16 fewer base components, but you'll have more to... Oh, see, if we do it... No, if we do it the other way, Oh! Ah! Oh, that might be a bridge too far. You can do it. I believe in us. Ah, yes. Oh, love those jetpack mods. Okay, I think... Here's my reasoning. If we go ahead and we just build the walls as is, right? Then what we're going to end up with is this sort of... Here, and I'll demonstrate it here. Is this sort of hallway, right? Sort of alcove, and we can put lights and stuff on it, whereas otherwise we cannot. Are we going to do this on the front and back? We're not going to be able to do this on the front and back. It's not... front and back is not a thing that this will even be similar to. This is going to be probably one of the most largest and complex builds that I've done in No Man's Sky. I preface that, I say in No Man's Sky. I've wanted to do something with this design for a while. Oops, we have a spare wall floating around now. It's going to take time, so I think what we'll do... we're not going to place every single piece in the episode. That would get really quite out of control quite quickly. Let's get rid of this piece over there. Nope, no. That piece, right? I'm strongly considering, though, expanding the highway to 3 spaces. Because what and we're gonna need some sort of frame support on the other side as well. Gosh, wouldn't you know it? Well, we're gonna need frame support on the other side, but I'm not gonna worry about that yet. We can always add that at a later date. Now, proportionally, this thing is going to stand incredibly tall over the highway, considering the highway is only 2 wide. So I think expanding the highway is sort of a thing that will have to be done, and that's okay. Like I said, we can make that call at a later date. Okay, now what we can start to do here is we can start to actually look a little bit at the scale of it. Because if we know we're 33 long, then I can safely say, quite certainly, that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deep is not going to cut it. Not even a little bit. No. This is not that squished of a rectangle, right? The trick is, we don't yet know the inner complexity and decorations that we're going to want to use. And so to make the structure grand on the outside will inevitably hurt us long term. Maybe not hurt us, but it will definitely force our hand in a creative decision. Now, if I have to cut back and restrict on the building area, not the building area, the work area, the area that isn't for lounging around, then we'll just have to do that. Let's get a sense of the shape first. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think we should go to 20. Gosh, this is going... I love it. I'm getting excited now that I've I've chosen a direction. And I've done a little bit of math. I'm excited. Let's just see what 16 looks like, shall we? I think that's fair. Got 16 and 33, so roughly half the width is the length, or half the length is the width. Yeah, you knew what I meant. I knew what I meant. I knew what I meant. I mean, I always know what I mean. That's a lie. I couldn't even keep a straight face. That's such a lie. I don't always know what I mean. I just know what I mean in this instance. I think this could work. I think this could work. It's going to be a lot of pieces. But it's possible we can use a lot of this to have sort of a large open space. Maybe. If we do end up where we're pretty much at the limit, then I don't know what we'll do. We'll cannibalize other objects, I think. But if we can't get the grandeur where we want it, I mean, honestly, that whole under area can go away. We can get our crops and our stuff elsewhere. As convenient as it is to have the milk on site, I'll go to a neighboring system and I'll get milk and eggs. You know, if I have to. I won't. We can't jeopardize the integrity of what we're trying to do for the sake of convenience. This is starting to feel good. I can't give away too much as I want to. Oh, ferrite dust. Ferrite dust be gone. We spent it. Oh, yes, that feels good. Darn, that feels good. And we made all this pure ferrite, and it's like, we don't even need that stuff. We don't. We could turn this all back into rust. In fact, we should just start doing that. Should start doing that right now. Where's my half a stack of pure ferrite? You get there and give me some of this oxygen. Yeah, bingo. You can start that process right now. And then I think actually we had more. We had more ferrite dust happening back at the other area. This is good. I don't know what we're going to do about the highway. Whoa! That's right. I meant to do that. That's right. Busting out those tricks. Got mad tricks. Alright. That's going to look crazy jutting off of this highway like that. We're going to have to dedicate at least 100 base components to bracing in the back, or else there's no sense in having this bracing here. So again, whether or not we widen the highway, whether or not we do structural bracing, it all comes down to that magical maybe. That moment where maybe we have the available base components, maybe we don't. Maybe in the time it takes us to build this, the base restriction is lifted in a future update. Hint, hint. No, I don't know what's coming in the next update, but I would be significantly shocked if that's what it was. I don't think. I don't think there's a darn thing about the base limit that they can squeeze out of this anymore. Although I do wish there was a place that told you how many base components you were up to. This is good. I accept these terms. Okay, the real question is, how far down is this going to... I mean, we already know it's, what, about 16 high, I think, is what we decided? Because before we decide on anything, we've got to get this thing finalized here. You know, I bet we could move the vehicles inside. Move this light. Place a teleporter in front of it. Change that teleporter. Oh my gosh, my head is swimming with possibilities. Let's see if we can stand right underneath it and get some machine gun construction going. I doubt we can, but... Oh, ooh, that wasn't so bad. I do like the way in Empyrean where you can click and drag to build a consecutive run of things. I think that's really neat. Ooh, 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 nope. No, no, no. We got twisted walls everywhere. It's a double helix. We're building a double helix. Complete with all lines of information in your DNA. No, that's not it. It's not it. Oh. Oh. What have I done? Really? Back here again? Why is that, I wonder? Again. Let's just take the build camera down here and see, because I know I placed a wall where it didn't belong. I heard it click, and I saw it, whoa, kind of far away. Bing, okay. The real deal is going to be connecting everything on the outside without doing much on the inside, right? Let's take a look. Gosh, it's going to be so many base components. Maybe... Oh. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, that's a lot. We're gonna have to think smart about this. Because we're going to need to conserve base pieces where possible, without sacrificing the overall visual element of the design. This wall alone. Whoa, hey, you're not cleared for approach. There's no landing pads here. Oh my gosh. What a crazy fool. What, are you still trying to land here? There was a landing pad here maybe an hour ago. Come on. Whoa. Oh, I blame the Atlas for that. Thanks, Atlas. we might have to do some more math. Gosh, I would hate to have to tear down this much already, but I'll do it. If we have to think smaller, we have to think smaller. Because what we have is a 33 by 16 by 16. I think we might be a bit beyond the scope that we need to be. $16 is good, but I don't know if... Here, let's call in the fleet for support. Get Relentless over here. That's what we have to be to figure this out, you know. Relentless. I think our 16 dimension is good. The challenge is 33. That's likely a bit extreme. Maybe. I think if we want to be able to decorate, and we do want to be able to decorate, then we have to reconsider our length. Width is good and height is good, but as I was calculating for height, because our height is always going to end up being half of our width for the nature of the ramp that we did. And that's not changeable. We're not changing that. That means we won't be 16 high. In fact, every 2 that we cut off, or every 1 we cut off on each side, brings us lower. So how high is it that we want to go with that ramp? Because each one peels us quite a bit back. So we're 33. If we pull it back like this, that puts us at 29. And I think that pulls us 4 down. That's definitely going to be more manageable. I mean, anything that we scale it down makes it more manageable, right? That's the problem. That's the problem with having a limit to our creativity like this, is no matter what we do, it benefits us to peel back away from the limit. But then it hurts the scale, right? Like, that's the point. It hurts the scale. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 29, as predicted. So that's going to take us down to a height of 14. If we come down one more, it puts us at a height of 13. So then we're recouping quite a bit off of the pieces on the area, actually. That's still pretty massive. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13. Gosh, that's still really large. Still don't know if that's enough. Alright, it's tough. It's tough because, like, no matter how much I do the math, I can look at it and say, well, that puts me this much below the limit. Or that puts me X number of pieces away from the limit. What I can't predict is how many pieces am I going to want to put down for decoration? For substance. Because it's not just about having a nice looking shell, right? It's about how is it going to look when we get there? I think that if I was to get... Okay, let's think about this realistically, because I've done the math, and every time I do it, I get more and more paranoid. Let's look at this realistically. If we go 25 by 16, that's still a lot of space. And it ensures that my worst nightmare won't happen. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My worst nightmare being that we get the shell completed and then start to decorate it and hit the base limit. And no matter how much of the peripherals we deconstruct and we take away, we can't decorate this giant, massive husk of a shell once it's complete with all of the things that we want to decorate it with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. So now we're at 23 by 16. You know, that's probably better dimensions than I had originally planned on. Let's get a look at it. I think ultimately I understand that you probably want to have all your math squared away before you begin construction, but that's really not the way that I get it figured out, really. So let's see. So at 23, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yep, we're about 3 too far. 1, 2, and 3. Let's just build it from down here and we'll see. I think that's the safest way to be correct. Because now that I've changed my math, now all my guesses are off. And again, to reiterate, we would have been within the base limit. But that I've never stopped to really decorate a base before. I guess you could say it has me a little bit paranoid. I mean, I have decorated bases. I've never decorated something on this scale before. And so I'm significantly worried that we're going to end up with a big empty husk. Because that is not me. That is not what I want. Definitely took it down a good bit, because what, we're six whole sections lower now and significantly narrower. It's a twofold problem though, right? It's twofold because the more larger and impressive your shell is, then you actually end up with that much more space that you have to fill. Or else it's just kind of dead space. And I'm not saying like there'll be zero dead space, because I'm sure that there are going to be sections where it just doesn't make sense. Where the space is, in fact, not usable, just for looks on the outside, and that we don't really care if it's 100% filled with everything. But the more dead space you have, right, it starts to kind of accumulate in this weird limbo. Let's see, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the more you have this dead space, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, the more of a really bizarre sort of area that you run into. And plus, this design isn't just... It's not just some... It's not just some big shell, or not a shell, but a big box. It is, in fact, complex. It has other pieces to it. It's not just simply a giant square, right? Let's see if we go a bit higher on the height here. We get our dimensions kind of back to where I wanted them to be. You know what? Perhaps this is all wrong. Really, in the end, it comes down to this being more of like a landing. No, not an actual landing pad. No, no, no. None of that. None of that now. You know what? I'm getting pulled in again, and looking at the time, this is where we're going to have to wrap it up. I think these dimensions are good. It's just going to be about figuring out the intricacies. I might do some of the flat wall construction off camera. In fact, no, I guarantee I will, because that's going to be a lot. And we can't do all of that on camera. So I'll save some of the more intricate stuff for the next episode. And just work on getting the box drawn, so to speak. Things like filling in this front wall over to the stairs. That's sort of assumed. Right? Like that. Oh, but look at me. Look at me go. I still just want to keep going. But again, that's where we're going to call it. Now I have to get that random piece that builds somewhere. Alright, well. Oh, careful. Stay low. Watch the framing. Sounds good to me. I think we made good progress. I do. So, that being said, until next time. Take care.